Welcome back. You're watching SABC News Channel 404. This is Sports Live. Now, before the break, we had that package as far as the nominations for the ABSA Premiership 2014-2015 season. Actually brings us to tonight's, really today, the Premier Soccer League. Well, they revealed the list of those nominees of the year, for the year-end festivities happening this weekend. To help us go through those and dissect them, SABC football commentator Brian Mofokeng, as well as, Soccer Laduma senior football journal Joe Crann. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Sports Live. Joe, I know I said Brian was a hit with the ladies, but you are a hit with them as well. It's fine.
It's just the accent, that's all. It's
the accent. Oh, I saw the makeup. It was like, ooh, that's one, yeah. Let me start right there, Joe. You look at the season; it's done, up and dusted. What stood out for you this season before we get to the nuts and bolts of it? Happiness? Were you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good season. It's been an interesting one. I think. I mean, since I've been in South Africa, it's the first time that a league has been so cut and dry so early. I mean, to have Chiefs running away with it so early in the season was a bit strange. I mean, every season I've been involved, it's been down to the last day sort of stuff. So that was a bit strange. I mean, I'm a big fan of stats. Like I like that sort of thing. So the statistics you have, like Chiefs' long winning streak and setting a new record there. There's the sort of things I look for. The things I enjoy.
Yeah, Brian, for yourself.
I think it's going to be the Chiefs story, and then something that also came up was how Free State Stars almost relegated to eventually find themselves just missing out of the top 8 bracket to finish in the top 8. Considering Papish Polokwane City, they were a team to watch until they started falling apart afterwards. So I think it was one of those seasons where they sit down and say, okay, everything has been dusted off, but what was the highlight? I think Chiefs, for me, really showed that they learned from a mistake last season. They came this season, they had a plan, and they just stuck to it.
Because at one point, I mean, everyone was talking, oh, will they crack like they did the previous season? And I think when they had that first loss and then there was a draw, then everyone said, oh, maybe the train is going to be stopped finally.
Yeah, I mean, the difference was, I mean, all they had to do really the second half of the season was just be as good as everybody else.
Yeah.
They started off so well. I mean, they got, I think it was 24 games unbeaten or something going back to last season. I mean, it's ridiculous. So by the time they hit that blip, they still had that cushion. They had that, I think it was 13 points at one stage. They had that cushion that was there. So even if they did drop a few points, it wasn't a sort of a train smash for them. But for me, it was interesting. The sort of, I suppose, the bottle that they showed. I mean, I don't know if you said it in South Africa, like the fact that they managed to push through and push it to one side the idea of last season. I mean, for me, last season was interesting because I mean, any other year Chiefs would have still won the league. If it wasn't for Sundown's amazing run towards the end of the season, when I think they won 10 games in a row, Chiefs would have still won the league. And I think that like this season as well, I think prior to last year, it took 58 points on average to win the PSL.
I know.
57 for Sundowns this year. Any other year, maybe they would have won it as well.
Well, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of the nominees. I mean, start off with probably the one that I think we don't appreciate the most. That's the coach of the season. There's always talk about, but why that one, why not that one? Let's take, these are the 3 nominees as people at home can see. And, well, obviously they won, 75 grand? But, I mean, it's not about the money at the end of the day. Some would say Stuart Baxter, Pitso Musuman, as well as Costa Dean Papic, Polokwane City. I would have also liked to, see maybe RDS in that list. What do you make of that one, Brian? Happiness?
For me, I've got to say the first one, yes, most definitely. Pito Musimani, Kostadin Papic. Pito, yes, for the fact that he finished second and really pushed Chiefs towards the end of the season. But Costa Papic, I think people just love the fanfare more than anything else. For me, Roger Desai had done very well, should have been in the list. I think also Kevin Hunt could have been in the list even easily. But eventually you find you have a whole lot of journalists in one room. They all start voting for their favorite coach, whom they feel did well. You're never going to get everybody winning eventually. It all goes with democracy. That's what we have in South Africa. And that's how you find Kosta Papi sneaking in there. So it means they don't, not one, but a few journalists actually went for him.
Yeah. In fact, we've got a couple of tweets as well. I mean, because we're very interactive right here. We did ask a couple of our viewers to send in and see what they had to say as far as that's concerned. We'll take the first one. I think it says it's from Louise Makoya. Louise says, I don't understand how, coming back to that exactly what I said, I don't understand how RDS was not nominated for PSL awards. And Mikhail Bolosha says, the judges failed when it comes to the coach. How did Pitso make the list? Where's Roger Desai or Compella? I think Compella was probably the other one, Joe. Actually, I think he had a good run, Steve.
I think the thing is, what we are all in this game for is because it divides opinion so much. I mean, I'm pretty sure bar a couple, you could probably make a case for every single PSL coach there is there. I mean, if we're looking at Roger, what he's done with such a young team to finish top 6 with an average age of about 24. Steve Compella's got Maritzburg into the highest ever league finish they've ever achieved. I mean, there are so many reasons, and like Brian says, we got in a room as journalists, we made our decisions, and it's done on votes, and that's purely what it comes down to in the end. And to be honest, yes, we got into the last 3, and these are the nominations we put forward, but it only comes down to one at the end of the day, and that's the one that we've really got to look at. Another one that I'm always interested to look at, the absolute young player of the year, of the season. That's a good couple of names again. I think Rivaldo, for me, could say deserves to be there. Abu Bakar as well. In fact, all 3. Pumlani as well. So I think that was I think that one's a no-brainer to even try and contest that.
I mean, if you look at this one as well, there was always a situation where we are thinking about Mobara, for an example. We always thought Mobara probably could have been in there. Not Mobara, by the way, Tashik Morris, because he's done so well as a young player. Tumsani Zuma started well, but then he faded off afterwards. Morena just missed it by an age or so. He could have been there as well, because he had done exceptionally well this season for the side, for Bloemfontein Celtic. But over and above that, I mean, let's look at the 3 players that are there. Just really shows how consistent Ajax Cape Town is.
I was just
look at their youth system. Because these players, I mean, I was watching a game against Supersport United. There are at least 9 players starting who had played from the youth academy. And in fact, 16 out of the 18 pool were from a youth system. So it shows that, you know, when you just have patience and build it, it does pay off eventually.
Let's move on to the next one. The other nominee is obviously always an interesting one to have. The Players Player of the Season. I think that's one. The Players Player of the Season. I think for me, this is probably more important as a player to win than even sometimes the Player of the Season award, because this is the one that speaks about your peers and how much respect they have for you, Joe.
No, definitely. I think there's this one obviously by the players, and the one we'll look at in a little while by the coaches. And I think from a player's point of view, this is what means the most. Like, to be recognised by the players you play against, like that to me would mean a lot. And I think that this one also the fans can't contest, because there's no one they can blame here, because the players themselves have voted. So that's that.
Just to come in there, I mean, if you look at a player like Teko Modise, you know, when he won the Football of the Year 2 years in a row, a lot of people were saying he did not really deliver. And now this season, I think we've seen vintage Teko Modise. He has proven exactly why he's such a prolific player in the middle of a park, why he's such a pivotal player when his Sundowns started taking and going forward. And if the missing piece is not there, Sundowns don't play well. And he has proven why he's such a good player. Then Tefo Mashamaite, I mean he's proven as a leader.
Every minute of the season as well.
Every minute of the season has played for Kaizer Chiefs this season. And that's for me.
I think he's one of 2 players that have played the whole season this year.
Just the one.
Is this this one?
Washington Ruby was close, and then they dropped him for his last game.
And there was also I mean, what is it? Tinyam. Tinyam has played all the league matches for Bloemfontein Celtic. Fernpante came in the last one, so he was dropped in the last one. So I mean, having said that, I mean, if you look at him, 5 seasons ago, West dropped him. Went to Alex United. Could have dropped football, could have gone to study, but decided, you know what? I'll suck up. They'll just go in and just do it, and here he is now getting rewarded.
The big one of the season, obviously, football of the season. Again, I'm not too really concerned. But again, it shows the dominance Kaizer Chiefs had. They got two of their players nominated there. I think, to be honest, you know, it's also another fair one, as you did say as well, because the coaches had a hand in it. So not really many can complain about that. After all, Chiefs did run a, I don't say a smooth ship, but yeah, it was a smooth ship, so to speak. What do you think of those nominations, Cole Alexander?
Cole Alexander, I mean, when you first saw him playing for Ajax Cape Town, a lot was said about him. But then he faded out. He fizzled off and eventually went to Vasco da Gama on loan. Came back to Ajax Cape Town, didn't last that long. Went to Chippa United, and Costa left. Costa said, "This is the young man that I can really prove he's the best midfielder in the country." And look what he did when he played at Polokwane. I mean, he scored some crucial goals. I mean, one of the goals that he scored was a contender for goal of the season, because it was a cracker. He's proven he's been allowed to play football, and he can see what he can do as a player. I think it is well for him. Eric Mlumanda Amator, he's just really improved with every game and is looking very good this season.
Tefu, Joe, no-brainer.
No, I mean, like I said, I think at this stage, when you're looking at football of the season, I mean, it is difficult to argue, because the coaches, like you say, they vote, and they're the ones who put these names forward. So, I mean, if they don't know what they're talking about, then we've got a real problem, because they're the guys in charge of the football. But I think, I mean, one thing I want to say about Cole was when I first moved to South Africa, he was still at Ajax. And I had a few people say, keep an eye out for this kid. And like Brian says, he kind of disappeared off the radar, but this season he's been superb. And I think that in a team like Polokwane, where he's given so much freedom, he's really sort of expanded his game and become a bit of a star.
Yeah, Brian, quickly, we've actually run out of time. Off season this weekend, PSL Awards. Thereafter, I know a lot of people be asking what happens to you. NFD matches come up soon.
Yeah, I've got a playoff match on SABC One on Sunday afternoon. It's Black Leopards against Jomo Cosmos to see which of the team will be able to come up. We know for a few seasons we've actually seen teams in the PSL coming back, and so it'll be interesting. But most of the time will be spent at home, homework time with the children, so it will be very nice.
Joe, yourself, you did speak earlier, but
yeah, I'm going home. No, I'm going to go home for a while, but then the transfer window starts, and then my life becomes a misery.
Well, there you go. This is another match that I'm sure the both of you will be very interested in. Tonight's second leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, and tonight Bayern Munchen have